Terry liked to tell his grandchildren a strange story about a piece of land he received from his father and later had been given to his brother Roy. One day, Terry and his granddaughter Teresa were crossing Roy's meadow, which had been grown up in weeds for many years. As they walked through the tall grass, Teresa stumbled on a rock. She examined it more closely and saw it was a rough, handmade tombstone. "Yes," Terry answered to his granddaughter's questioning look. "This meadow is full of them. That's why we don't plow it." As he continued, he told her that one person, her father, had tried. Teresa wanted to know more, so they sat on a bench for half of the afternoon while Terry told her about the haunted field. Long ago, a slave trader had made his home on the property. He was a cruel man, and his neighbors often kept their distance. He had built a rough sort of barracks against the hillsides where the slaves were kept in chains to the walls, and in the field below he buried the bodies of those who tried to escape or were disobedient as a warning to the others. This man enjoyed torturing his victims before killing them, however, and when it got so bad that the good people of Green Valley drove him out, no one would buy his land because of the evil name attached to it. After several years, Terry's father bought it, against the advice of his neighbors, and tried to remove all the taint from it. He burned the decaying slave house, and after about 30 years of living on the property, decided to use the meadow where the slaves had been buried. Terry was a little boy then, but he could remember his father saying that he had a strange sense of foreboding all during the plowing, and that the horses had bucked and given him a great deal of trouble all afternoon. The family all went to bed with the sun that night, because there was so much to do the next morning. Terry was awakened by his father's terrified screams. His father had seen something, or maybe dreamt it, but it was real to him. He had heard chains clanking, moans, and screams of tortured slaves, and had heard their quiet cries of despair. "Let us have peace, at least in our graves," they begged, crawling on their knees, their chains clanking. Terry stopped there and lit his pipe, but after a time he went on. "Well, my pa heard that carrying on for about a week. Then he decided he really didn't need that field. He let it grow back up, and he didn't hear any more strange noises. I left that meadow alone, too, and so did your Uncle Roy." "The screams and chain clanking," said Teresa. "All this was just your father's conscience bothering him in the form of a dream." Terry took another puff of his cigar. Then he said, "But all us kids, we heard it too."